Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is me, Dukect, welcoming you back once again here on the live edition of the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me every Wednesday night here, and it is awesome. Thank you so much that you are here this evening, watching me, listening to me, doing all the things that you usually do on this Wednesday evening. On the backdrop of this the first day of spring, and it's a little bit nippy outside, but there's been there's a lot more of heat around this entire, some good stuff to talk about. Now, there's a lot of good stuff here, a lot of things we could talk about. We want to come into the show. Remember, the phone number is always, if you want to be a part of the greatness that is the Dukect Lounge, the number is 605-562-0444. Once again, the number is 605-562-0444. And the show ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the show ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. And also, you can just easily connect to me, Dukect, via the internet thing. It's just like, bam, just club up and call in, like, bada boom. Bam! Whammo! You're here. You're dead. You're going to sit there and just do all that good stuff via the internet and everything. So that's cool. And also, if you don't want to do the whole rigmarole, that is the call-in, remember, you can always use the chat. Is always on lock. I want to hear from you, see from you, and all the good things. So, let us get into the things here. First things first, let's talk about some video games, brother. A little bit of that gaming, a little bit of that stuff that has been people seem to like and such. My cat is not really impressed. He's just sitting there sleeping because why not? Who cares about games? He doesn't care about them. But anyway, the Nindes. Honestly, some of those Nindy titles look interesting. One of the more original stuff, I can't wait to really to really get into was the last thing they called up from is from the showcase today is probably the quite honestly, I honestly think one of the best stuff they did call out to me, which I like Blaster Master Zero. That looks cool. Let's see. Katana Zero looks nice. My friend Pedro. That looks really cool as well. There are some really good stuff. Other things, that would probably, if I had the time, probably Stranger Things Retro looks nice too. Also, the Cadence of Hyrule. Wow. Talk about actually a really good game. And heck, I think this is the first time you have like Zelda actually playable. And I know you could say in the 3D main games you had in the 3DS version, I think what was it? It wasn't Phantom Hourglass. It was the let's see. Legend of Zelda. Let's see. To Wikipedia we go, ladies and gentlemen. Spirit Tracks. There it is. Spirit Tracks. Yeah, I think she was like you could possess her. She was a ghost or something, and you could possess people. But yeah, Zelda is now not only a playable character in a mainstream Zelda, she never could be, other than the Hyrule Warriors, she never really got Hyrule Warriors, and that Zelda didn't get much love. But I like in the fact Zelda's getting that love in the rhythm-based games. I really like it. It's, I want to see how the gameplay is, because this looks really cool. And if this looks really nice, the Cadence of Hyrule, I'm going to see what other stuff this maker has been into and such, But also the main thing here. The big news, everybody, the big news of this, the big news, ladies and gentlemen, that just came out of this is Cuphead. Yes, Cuphead, the one thing that old game journalists can't beat, the hardcore game that you can't do double jumps, even though how you could do double jumps, but it's there, Cuphead, all of its 1920s glory. Yeah. And honestly, I can't wait. I wonder if all the DLCs come in with it too, because that looks really cool. I can't wait. I really wanted to play Cuphead. I love the music, the aesthetic. It's just so fun. It looks fun. It looks exciting. And I am definitely all in. Hashtag all in on Cuphead when it comes on April 18th of this year. I'm all in on that. And when you look at this, when you see this type of this stuff from Microsoft, which was it looked like it's going to be a pretty much a first party game, even though I can get it on Steam or whatever, making the Xbox One partners. But then again, my PC is not that uber powerful. Not yet, but one day. Maybe it might be even powerful for running that Google thing, which looks terrible. Because, hey, why not have something on Live 2.0? Because that's not going to blow back at all. Wait. That's going to be a fun destruction thing. That's going to be really fun. That's going to be fun, boys and girls. Fun in the train wreck sort of way. But, hey, fun nonetheless. It looks like the Caps are probably going to lose. But you know what? I'm at the position of, hey, you got to look good in defeat. And I honestly believe that. And the Caps, it's 2 minutes left. The Capitals could come back and win. But you know what? They look pretty good. Look pretty good in defeat. And that, at the end of the day, and then, it's a regular season. They're losing to the best team in the NHL, but they look strong. Can't hate on that. But anyway. But yeah, it looks like Microsoft is pretty much, as the rumors keep swirling, it looks like there might be the Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass might be going to the Switch, and if that's going to be the case, it's going to make the next Microsoft thing a little bit more pointless, actually. It looks like they might be, rumor have it, that they might be, Microsoft is giving up the ghost, so to speak. Which, hell, they had a pretty good run. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts about this. Be in the comments and everything else. I want to hear the stuff here, but it looks like, for the most part, talk about this stuff. It looks like, it looks like this could be something major in Microsoft if they're basically transitioning, getting out of the console game. I honestly think they'll probably do better ones than Sega, because at least they actually won't depending on one mascot and such, instead of like looking at the other things they have. Oh, and Capitals just scored a goal. Of course they did. But anyway. But yeah, it looks to me that's the that's the thing about that. I mean, I worry a bit about that type of what's going to be in that type of stuff. I mean, other people have talked about this. Is that what's going to be if they did? Is it going to be like the rare stuff, which I have all the rare. I do have Donkey Kong 64. I have Donkey Kong 64. I have both Banjo-Kazooie games. The good ones, not the ones on the Banjo Nuts and Bolts, which just looks terrible. terrible. Which I'm not really. Yeah. I have no idea why they just make it that. Let's make Banjo-Kazooie into a racer, because why not? I mean, why? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense to me to make something like a racer and a game series that pretty much had the foot in the platform game. But yeah, going to this point, it just it just seems that with all this stuff going into Game Pass and such, I would not be surprised if Microsoft is going to just say, they make a loss every time they make a console. So if they were going to basically give up the ghost, as it were, I don't know what else, I don't know what the next gen plans are going to be. Because they pretty much have said they're going to have another next gen console, but if this is something of a case, it just really brings odds to it. So are they going to stop doing the next console, or let's see, the next Xbox, I mean, it could be, what about the Xbox One or 2, that release thing, they're supposedly, is this going to be 2020, or are they just going to be like, nah, we're not going to do that? I don't know what is going to be in the, it's supposedly the Xbox 2, it's coming, but it's, I don't know what it's going to be. Supposedly 2020. I don't know what it's going to be if they're going to continue making these consoles, because I don't think they're going to keep making them if they're pretty much putting most of the high-profile games on other consoles. Heck, maybe for the PS4 or the Xbox. It looks like it's going to be Nintendo and Sony. And it's hilarious to me how people thought Nintendo after the Wii U were going to be like knocked off, but they keep coming back. And they're like Michael Myers. You can't kill this company. I don't know how they just can't. This company just won't know how to die. But who knows? I don't know what the future holds, but it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting future for this company and how it is going to be moving forward. But hey, this is Cuphead. It's just one thing, but who knows what's going to be out in the future. Anyway, we're going to take a small little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Wrestlemania. We're going to talk a little about that awesome, folks. And Wrestlemania looking to be just as long than all 3 Lord of the Rings movies. Yes. Why? I have no idea. Because at this point, it's just like, because they can at least. I don't know. But yeah, I will talk about that, the positives, the cons, and what WWE should do about it. WWE, what I would do, my personal opinion, to make sure WrestleMania, the event, can be something. Something memorable. Something memorable, but also something that is not as time consuming. Well, after that, let's see, let's play some music. Let's play a little bit of Super Mario 64, Portrait of the Plumber from OC Remix. Go download it, OC Remix, because their albums are awesome. Let's play some. Let's play a little bit of the Roads to Everywhere by Argle, and listen to that. You'll be right back right after this here, live on the Dukect Lounge. We're right back right after this. are back, ladies and gentlemen. And the Caps lost. Well, not surprised. But hey, when this in the world of hockey, they went to overtime, so they got a point. So, yeah, that works. Anyway, let's get continuing on to the craziness that is the Dukect Lounge. And let's talk about Wrestlemania. Oh, yeah. The showcase of the Immortals. The way where the cream finally goes up to the top. But yeah, oh goodness. But yeah, anyway, WrestleMania, the showplace of the Immortals and such. It looks like it's going to be a very, very interesting it's going to be a very interesting show, as it is supposed to be, ladies and gentlemen, over WrestleMania, which supposedly is going to be 8 hours long. Which you would say, what? Yeah, it's around as long as Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings movies. All of them. The main card will start. Ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania 35 is going to see 4 p.m. Let's see. It's going to start. The main card, it will start at 7. Okay, but guess what? It's going into the kickoff show. Let's get this stuff here. But the kickoff show will start in total at 5. So, oh gosh, it is going to be one of the this show starts off at 5 Eastern Standard Time. For 5, 6, 7, then the main show starts. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is like 8 hours, ladies and gentlemen. 8 hours! 8 hours! 8 hours of wrestling. Holy crap. 8 hours in total. Think about that. That is just as long as most of the Lord of the Rings. And honestly, not as much interest or content and such. And look at the matches. We have Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. Probably, main eventing. But I don't want them to main event because, geez Louise, that everything in this, that whole car crash pile up of a WrestleMania match, which was supposed to be a slam dunk, has turned into a complete and utter dumpster fire. You have the Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Yawn. Batista versus Triple H in a no holds barred match. Yay. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, the match will probably be match of the night. And the one thing I am probably will be, will probably be the most one I'm looking forward to. Shane McMahon versus Miz. Kurt Angle in his retirement match, and his last match is against Baron Corbin. Yeah. And then Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with Braun Strowman and, whatever else of the Loser Brigade is going to be in there. And of course, you're going to have a Women's Battle Royal too. And of course, you're going to have Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. It's just going to be a really the card is just way. Look at this. The card's. Can I just say this? That the WrestleMania card is too damn big. I mean, it's not really a shocking thing, but when your show itself is rivaling the same time of Lord of the Rings, you have a problem. And this has been a problem for a long while in WWE. And by problem, I have been talking about for many years is about how time management. WWE has terrible time management. It is terrible. They just don't know they don't know how to manage time well and use it efficiently to make sure their matches mean more or have their entire show. It makes them just seem, the wrestlers actually, have not only have meaning, but just don't overstay their welcome. You look at some of the matches. I'm looking for my Royal Rumble review, which hopefully will be up soon. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Yes, I know it was after the women's, but what was their thing to do? It was just long time of plotting and boredom. That's what it was. And yes, Daniel Bryan tried to salvage it with a promo, which most people probably never saw. Yeah, thanks on YouTube, by the way. The show, WWE. Come on now, WWE, do something. I mean, you are not helping your wrestlers when you put them up on these long matches that don't mean anything. You put them on these pay-per-views that just feel like you have to waste time and filler. Hell, you had Elias sing 3 songs in your previous pay-per-view, and guess what? It was nothing but filler, and people got tired and bored of it. Honestly, I just don't. I don't know why WWE does this. I don't know why they don't know how to sit down and make a good, a good show that does not have the issues of this time management, these issues, because they have the wrestlers, they have the talent, and people say, "Oh, they're worried about AEW, so they have to." No, this is not the way you do and compete with another company. The only reason why your company and people seem to like it, AEW or Impact or whatever, it's because of its way they handle time management, the way they handle themselves, the way they actually made sure these, it made the matches seem important. Every match seemed important. Every match was, a wrestler there felt, a part important to the show. That is what they did. And then when Double or Nothing shows up on Fight TV, which I will order, and such, I'm going to say it's going to be better than, I will say right off the bat, it probably will be better than WrestleMania because it won't be an 8-hour long wank fest. It won't be. I mean, at this point, I wonder why WWE won't just, I'm on the mindset, if it's not going to get people caring about the show or anything else, then cut the damn show. Just cut it down. You don't need a 4 or 5, 6 hour main show mania. You can cut that down to 2 hours to 3 hours, and with enough, cut the matches time down to 10 to 15 minutes. Cut, do this top, you want the pomp and circumstance, yes, but cut, make sure the matches, you want the intros and all that good stuff. Make sure each match on the main card is meaningful, important, and all these things. Because quite honestly, if I'd had to sit back and watch pointless stuff and meaningless stuff that just, the fluff that doesn't really add on to anything, and the show, it takes away my experience. So I would just cut the show down to to 2, maybe 3 hour mania, make it seem important, make every match seem important, and everything seems to be like, wow, this match and everything feels important. It feels like a WrestleMania match. Next, some people said, next idea, some people are saying, I talk to people that say, hey, why don't you have a, make it a 2 or 3 day event. NXT one day, WrestleMania night 1 and WrestleMania night 2. Make a weekend of it. That's not really a bad idea. Because again, if you can't really, you have too much of a big roster, why not show these things? Why not make make your talent as big and vast, and see what night 1 is, what night 2 is, and have the people talk and have a buzz. I mean, Ring of Honor did this when I went to WrestleMania back in 2011. Great time I had, by the way. There was a night 1 Ring of Honor, a night 2 Ring of Honor. It was an afternoon, but it's a smaller set, whatever. But I thought that was fun. That was engaging. I think that's, a way to bring like the audience in. I really wish they could have done more of that. I really wish that WWE could do that. Have night 1 WrestleMania, night 2 WrestleMania. At least it would actually bring more talent and make sure every match is important to the show. Right, WrestleMania night 1, you have the WWE Championship on the main eventing, and night 2 you have the Universal Title main event. You won't have to put the show on a mid card type of stuff. You make sure the championship matches have meaning. The championship matches have meaning, and the wrestlers that held them or challenging them are meaning. Our grudge matches and such have meaning. That is important if you want to have a wrestling show or any show with type of meaning to your star. This is a big pay-per-view. You want the shows to have meaning, so why not let them have meaning? Either way, I think if you cut the show down, all I want to have is meaning for these superstars and such, and don't burn out not just the wrestlers and the commentators and all that stuff, but also fans, because sitting down for 8 hours for content, that is way too much, and that's way, it drags things down. It's not going to help you do these things. You don't want to have, because when Double or Nothing AEW comes out and so on and so forth, when they have their show and it means something, guess what? People are going to gravitate towards that. That's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. And the WE somehow, with a miracle, listens to my little podcast, which would be cool. But hey, hey, Xavier Woods had my got my business card, so maybe he is listening. But yeah, I make sure your wrestlers have meaning. Don't drag them out into 6 hours and such. Heck, by the time something does main event, the crowd is drained and not really emotionally and physically spent, and you're gonna blame the people who were in the main event not to be up. Blame the wrestlers and blame no one wins there. The best way you can do it, the best and smart way to do this to keep your crowd engaged, is to make sure that they are, make sure that every match, that people keep them engaged, is that make sure you have better time management. You don't need 8-hour Mania. Have a 2-day Mania, 2-day Mania, a weekend WrestleMania, or just cut down the time to just have the most important matches, the most real important matches that make it to the card. And some people will be pissed if they didn't make it. Well, have them wrestling access and give them more. Still have them, do their WrestleMania bonus there. That's how I do it. Anyway, we're going to take a small break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk a little about Star Wars, because Lord knows, that's going to be a fun topic. Not just that, but Disney and Lucasarts and all that stuff here. We'll talk about that as well. We'll be right back right after this, and we're going to be playing some, let's see, let's play a little bit of Darkwing Duck, Funky Moles, and Trashy Ducks from Timinus 222. Thanks so much for listening and watching the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much here. And wow, what a show. What a great show here right here on TalkShoe.com. Remember, if you can't find me live, remember you come on YouTube.com /DukecT, also on BitChute.com, search for Dukect Lounge, also on Freaking Awesome Network, and on Manic Expression. Which, by the way, there's an animated movie coming out soon, so I can't wait to see that. I may have recorded a bit of lines for it, so take a look for that, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be great. So anyway, great. You want to talk about great? You talk about Lucasarts and Lucas films and stuff from gaming. So many great IPs. Now, you might think, oh, Star Wars stuff, which had great Star Wars stuff back in the day. But also they had other stuff as well. They had LucasArts beloved stuff like Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle, of Grim Fandango, great adventure games. Monkey Island, Manic Mansion, Indiana Jones, stuff like that. And again, X-Wing and TIE Fighter as well for Star Wars. And other like old school games that, when you think of Star Wars, there were some really good video games. Really good stuff from LucasArts. But since EA has the license and such, because, Disney is, they had to go from one evil empire to another because, hey, what's up? They go right where, they hang out in the same, places, they go to the same evil, dark realms and such. So, hey, why not? So, basically, Star Wars, who has not just, and I love the fact Star Wars under EA have only not one crappy Battlefront, but two crappy Battlefront games that basically toil and destroy the legacy of both Battlefronts, the original Battlefronts, the awesome ones. And I'm still pissed off that Battlefront 3 does not, that nice flyover footage, you go up there, which I see. The only game I saw do something like that was in Sky. Oh, gosh. The game I streamed way there, it was gosh. Gosh. What was it again? Let me just, let's see. What was the game again? Starlink. There it is. Starlink. There it is. They show that in Starlink, which is just so, I'm still bitter at that we could have had that. You could have had that, Star Wars. Instead, we just got mediocre titles and just mediocre titles and then just microtransactions. That's what it is, But yeah, my hope with this is if they're now reviving these titles, it looks like they're using the Star Wars brand to, they're calling it Lucasfilm Games. They actually are in this new division, which is pretty dang good. Because I like looking at this and the Rogue Squadron games, which I have all three. I have the N64 version and both Rogue Squadron games for the GameCube. Great games. Even though Rogue Squadron 3 is a little bit clunky with the autopilot stuff, but honestly, on the real, I honestly haven't played a really good game, Star Wars type of game, of stuff like that in a long while. I'm like, this to me is a Star Wars game. I'm like, I love playing those games. I know someone say X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and the best air controls, but I never got that. But to me, Rogue Squadron, that's my jam. That was my jam, man. That hit me right there. Yeah, that little bit hurt, but yeah, I hope that is, because according to the superhero type, and the link will be in the description, as always, a report from PC Games Inn suggests the company will visit old school gaming with the new division, Lucasfilm Games. This comes from a job listing located on the Disney career site. The company is looking to fill a number of positions, from producers to artists and other creative roles. Based on the job listing, Lucasfilm Games will focus on a number of interactive products. These include games in the Star Wars land, along with other Lucasfilm IPs. There's no consoles are mentioned by names, but the games will be available for all digital platforms. This is likely to consoles and PC and perhaps even mobile. I wonder how would that look. Star Wars as a Rogue Squadron in a mobile. I think my Android can handle it. I think, but I think we'll probably do more data tentacle. Maybe full throttle. I think they could do that. Probably could handle full throttle. I definitely think some mobile stuff they can handle that. But yeah, this will be very interesting to see. Disney get into the game market. I honestly, hopefully, they can get more, stuff with their IPs because there's so much of a racket. There's money to be made there. There's gold in them hills that they haven't conquered yet, and sadly, they already pretty much took over the film and TV market. Yeah, but here's hope. I'm hopeful that once Star Wars, I want some good Star Wars, and if this Lucasfilm Games has a positive reaction at Star Wars Celebration or whatever they're going to debut this thing, and if it does come out, it is pretty much a digital platform and people seem to love it, I would not be surprised if by 2021 or 22 they will re-look at Electronic Arts. Maybe this is because of the negative feedback of Battlefront 2. Maybe they started talking about this earlier, saying, let's do this Lucasfilm, games thing on the down low and then put that stuff out there. But that's just me. I'm just speculating here. There's speculatories and such, speculative. But, wouldn't surprise me. After Disney does not like those negative comments, so you might see this come out. You might see some new game stuff here, and maybe we'll start hiring something that they should have done. They should have broke up LucasArts. They should have kept it in-house, and now they might actually start doing that. Keep it in-house. Hopefully have better games, some really good games, not just for mobile stuff, but also for consoles. Something that people really want to see from not just Star Wars, but also other games in the whole LucasArts canon. Maybe another Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, maybe a new version of Full Throttle, but maybe some Indiana Jones. I mean, seriously, why hasn't? I know you have your Lara Crofts and your Uncharted and everything else, but by gosh darn it, why can't we have an Indiana Jones next gen kick-ass video game? Harrison Ford is still alive. Just do some voice editing in there. Bada bing, bada boom. You have the next Indiana Jones game. Just him beating the crap out of people and just find Atlantis. That's the next Indiana Jones movie. Him just going in and finding Atlantis and bam, saving the day. Come on. There, I just made you more. I made y'all $1 billion game. Disney / Lucas Lucasfilm Games. Well, where's my check? Cut the check. But yeah, that's the who knows? But anyway, that would be a very interesting thing to talk about in the future. One of these days, here in the future, but gaming will probably be on Spotify or whatever those kids are. But anyway, but that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking with me, Dukect, through this insanity. But also live stream. Hopefully Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon, I will be doing more live streams like Xenoblade Chronicles. And because honestly, that game is a beefer, we're going to be there for a good long while, ladies and gentlemen. So hold on to your butts. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks so much for listening. It's Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.